Yeah, so you have something that it's not just automatically going to go into those forms, right? But you do have a quadratic, right? Do you have a square root, though? You could rewrite it as a square root, right? So it's important that we see that. You could rewrite this as square root of 5 minus 4x minus x squared, all of that to the third power dx, right? You could do that. Can you complete that square? You better be able to. Let's see. I'm going to rewrite I'm just completing the square now. Negative x squared minus 4x plus 5. I'm rewriting it in descending order. What's the first step? Make sure there's a coefficient of positive 1. Do we have a coefficient of positive 1? No. So you factor out negative 1. Okay, pull negative 1 out. Now you're left with x squared plus 4x minus 5, right? What number am I going to look at now? The positive 4 sitting in front of the x. I take that number and I take half of it, right? So I take that 4, I take half of it, and I get 2. That's my first magic number. What do I do with that number? Square it. Take that number, square it, and I get 4. That's my second magic number. Now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to realize that there's a hidden 0 right here. Right after that 4x, there's a hidden 0. And I'm going to put in there plus something and minus something. What am I going to put? Plus 4 minus 4. Plus 4 minus 4, right there. And then minus 5. So there's your hidden 0. The first 3 terms are guaranteed to factor. Perfect square trinomial. I still have a negative 1 on the outside, though. I'm going to do a double set of parentheses, so just make sure you keep this parentheses here. That's your big parentheses, but these 3 terms become something squared. What is it? X plus that number, right? Again, if that was negative, you would put minus here. So x plus 2. I think you could visually check this, right? X plus 2 times x plus 2 is this, right? Okay, and then I still have over here what? Minus 9? Okay. Now, let's go back and rewrite this. If I rewrite this, I get, this was all under a root, right? So we have root, all of that to the third power, and this is what was under the root, right? This right here. Negative, and then 1, I'm going to put negative 1, and then big parentheses, then small parentheses, x plus 2 squared minus 9 parentheses. Do you remember in the last problem when we got to this step, we pulled the 4 out of the root? Remember that 4 that was out front, and we pulled it out? Yeah, and it came out as a 2? Can't pull a negative 1 out, can you? You are not allowed to. So what I'm going to do is distribute the negative 1 back through. The negative 1 is going to go in front of this parentheses, and it's turned that to a plus 9. So imagine, this is going to become negative, and that's going to become plus, right? So watch the way I write this. I'm going to write it 9 take away x plus 2 squared. Isn't that what would happen if I distribute a negative 1 here and then here? The negative would go in front of this parentheses, and then that would become a positive 9. So I just switched the order, and that makes it look like which one? Now this is a trig sub. You got to squint your eyes, though. That's the first one, right? But we're going to look at this x plus 2 as being our u. And then we're going to do the same thing we did last problem. We're going to say this is u equals, should we do the sub? Just write it down. I think I'm going to have to stop at some point here. U is what?
Sorry, doesn't matter that the bottom is cubed?
Yeah, we're not there yet. Yeah, we haven't even worked with this yet, right? Remember in the beginning of today, I said, if you ever see a square root of something like this, then this is what we're going to do. We will have to address this cubed. So let's keep cranking. Let's keep cranking. I still have 4 or 5 minutes. Yes? Why did I? Why did I not? Oh, because order of operations. When this goes here, right, it becomes -1 times x plus 2 squared. You can't distribute it in because the order of operations you have to do squared before you can do multiplication. So we just have to leave it out front as a negative. That good? Any other questions? What am I replacing u with? X plus 2. Okay, now rewrite the integral. This is just dx is du, du is dx, right? So the new integral becomes integral 1 over square root of 9 minus u squared, all of that cubed du. And then I can go and do my trig sub, right? I'm going to use the first one, but I'm going to say u is 3. Which one are we using? Sine theta. Good. Then du is 3 cosine theta d theta. And then the square root of 9 minus u squared should be 3 cosine theta. I'm not showing that step. I'm not showing this step. If you replace u with this, square it, plug it in, Pythagorean, you should get that. What's my new integral?
Integral 1 over 27 cosine cubed theta.
Yeah, this root is the 3 cosine theta, right? And then you're cubing it, right? So the bottom is 3 cosine theta, but then all of that gets cubed. And then what do we still have here? Du, which is 3 cosine theta d theta. That's what we have, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to clean this up. This is going to be, let's see, I'll just go slow. 27 cosine cubed theta times 3 cosine theta d theta. What's that? 9? Right? And then, so what do I have? What constant comes out here? 1/9? Integral, what's in here? 1 over cosine squared theta, d theta. And that's secant squared, isn't it? So this is 1/9 integral secant squared theta, d theta. Do you know the antiderivative of secant squared? 1/9 tangent theta plus c. And then what's tangent theta? You go get your triangle, and then, yeah, I'll let you finish that. Okay? So on your homework, it's going to be a long homework assignment.